We are live. Oh my goodness. We are
Awesome.
back. Hi, Andy. And we have a guest tonight. This is Psychic Leo Fire. And
Hello,
hello.
everybody.
How are
Hi.
you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Well, let's see. Let's ask. Andy, how you doing?
Oh,
And how was the holiday for you?
the holiday was wonderful. I only had to go across the yard to my neighbor's house for Thanksgiving. So,
Oh, that was good.
yeah, so it was really good.
Well,
Low
I
key.
did you buy anything for Black Friday?
Um,
Actually, I bought
no.
like a really nice bed. I'm really excited about that.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I want one.
Bigger bed. So,
Yeah, I bought a bunch of hi George. I
hi,
bought a bunch
George.
of techie stuff, more techie stuff. Just
Ooh.
like I needed it, but I know you can just hear stuff. One of the reasons I did, and I kind of kept it on the QT, is I did it was a crazy but before holiday was crazy, and I did end up having a fall. I can't believe I fell, but I did. And so I had to convalesce for about 3 days. And so I thought, you know what? I'm in a large house, and if I had it wired even more, I could call for help. And so I decided that, okay, I need some more plugins. I feel like I need the necklace or the clapper or something. Okay, I'm down. But everything ended up okay. And I just, Black Friday though, boy, yeah, I got everything coming in. But I got a good deal. Let's see. Best score for me was a down jacket for $23. So,
Nice.
Oh, wow.
yeah. You would have thought that George bought socks. Well, we're glad. I hope you got a great deal. Hi, Cruz. How are you?
Hi, Cruz.
Hey, Janine.
Hi.
Oh, good. You can hear us. I'm glad that you could pop in. And so are you all settled? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I worked.
Oh.
So.
Well, making money is always a good thing, for sure.
Yeah.
We're just talking about Black Friday and all the crazy stuff. I didn't buy any crystals and things like that. I bet all my friends were just like getting all tarot card decks and all kinds of things. Always fun. There, we can see you a little bit better. So,
I know this room.
Go ahead.
This room is dark. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't even have my good camera on tonight, and I'm surprised you can see anything in here, but it looks pretty bright. So, Janine, I want you to meet Psychic Leo Fire. That's here, our guest. And so, Janine just wrote a book. I don't know if you know that. And so, Janine, here's your time to plug your book and tell us the title.
So my book is available on Amazon, and the title is My Paranormal Life. And head on over and check it out.
Awesome. And that's a good thing now that we can talk to Psychic Leo Fire about. How long have you been psychic? And we need to know a little bit about you. And we have, you guys, she can talk on all the topics you want. So do put some suggestions in as we find out a little bit about her. So go ahead. You get the stage now.
Okay. So basically a long time ago, not a long time ago, but like 2011, my mom had actually passed on. So she crossed over, she passed on. She had died from cancer, which was a very heavy time in my life. She actually came through to my best friend actually in a dream. And so my best friend contacted me, and we like met up. It'd been a while since we had like met up. So we were kind of exchanging information, and like my best friend kind of knew things within this dream that kind of connected into what was actually happening with me at the time. So I had connected with a psychic and got a psychic reading and got messages through my mom quite a while back. And that led me into a direction of finding out more about psychic experiences, psychic development. I joined the Aranum community. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that community. Yes.
I'm not, but it looks
Yes.
like Andy is.
So I connected with a lot of people through that, observing readings, talking to people about, everyone has their own like different style within readings. I actually eventually joined that community doing readings for other people. And then I also had joined the Zodiac Psychic community doing readings more through like messaging. And then I'm more developing my own niche with my own readings of what I offer through, I got like Facebook and my own podcast and things that I'm developing within my own style of psychic reading. So it's a little bit more about me.
I just want to interrupt just a sec. Does
Sure.
everybody have their earphones on? Because I'm getting a little feedback. Do you guys hear it?
Yeah, I hear it too.
Janine, you
It
have
might be me. I
earphones?
don't have headphones, like, so it might be me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we are hearing a little bit double talking there. Okay. I do want to. Hi, Michael. We love waving at everybody. We love our viewers. So this happens a lot when people have some kind of a paranormal experience or something that starts you on the path of seeking out what that was about. And I think that's really familiar. But we do want to talk about your podcast. And so I think we have a link for it, you guys, because we want you to like and follow and all
There's
that.
a lot of stuff on that podcast right now. Like I started that in like, I think it was the end of August or the beginning of September. So it's a lot of different episodes within that I've already have on there. And I do plan on doing more and kind of delving more into it. So it's been very exciting to get into that and have that available. So that's linked within my Instagram as well, Psychic Leo Fire on Instagram too.
Mm-hmm. And you will have it archived so we can go back and listen to previous things.
Yeah.
Now that is awesome. That is really great. Yeah, because a lot of times
all free. It's all free. So I want to get more stuff out there, more metaphysical stuff, more. There's things I have in there about manifestation as well, which is like things about like how I manifested like my own relationship, a really awesome relationship. I'm been with my fiance for 3 years now. So everyone's, that's one of the main things is like people are looking for love and for money and abundance. Yeah. So
that's what they're asking for all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Andy and I wrote the book, Many Ways of Manifesting. Awesome. So it's such a big thing for us to, why I did, started that is because I was looking around to see where the book is on all the different methods and I couldn't find it. So then I go, just write it for goodness sake.
Right. Yes, for sure.
And everything's in there. And so anyway, I also manifested for a relationship. That was the very first thing I did. I call it commanding energy, which is talking to the universe. That's awesome. Somebody just said, say it out loud and you get it. Oh my goodness. There are no odds of what happening. So yeah, I did. And you're right. The people, when we look at our life and our everyday living and everything and our wants, it's going to be money and it's going to be love. Those are the biggest things. And then we go split off to career and job and, and health and all those things. But that's a big thing. I think love is the biggest thing. What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, the people that's the number one thing.
It varies. I think it's a lot of career, and it's a lot of I don't know if love's like the number one, but it's one of the top things. It's like I get like health. It's like health, love, and then like career. Those are like I think the three top things that people have like questions about and such. But I think like knowing that you can manifest and like you can bring about, you know, the change within your own life is like just really an empowering concept that a lot of people think that they're just influenced by things. But I think that really making a change in your own life is like, that's what's going to bring it to what your goal is.
You know,
I think just reinforcing that's just really important.
Yeah,
for people.
You just said empowering, and this I think is the word that's going to come in strong for the next few years, because I have so many people coming in and asking for help in empowering them so that they can go and do this. And manifesting is the biggest tool. And when I do a reading and I see something that, I think you might want to change this. Let me give you a prescription. And I tell them how to manifest. This is the greatest thing. I really feel like we have to get that out into the world, like hugely, to have people be able to use the energy out there and to make a big change in their lives.
Yes. And I think some people just don't know that they can. Or like, I think people get stuck in just a way of living where that's all that they know, and they don't think outside of the box and know that they can change it, you know. And it's hard to really put that into words unless you experience it, or like have it be like known unless you actually experience it. But manifestation is just a really powerful term, and like you said, Debbie, like empowering, that word itself is just like you can change your life, you can change your circumstances, you know.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you, this is a lot of people, we have different thinkers. Now I was a retired government librarian, so a research librarian. So you think a certain way. Yeah. And then when things happen, then you go, well, this just opened up. But I'm going to tell you, and I tell everyone, people think sometimes that they have to really believe in it to have it happen. And I tell everybody, I did not believe in manifesting, but in desperation, after a bunch of bad dates, I went and I manifested for a certain person to come in. And in 14 days, that person came in, and that is like, that I was like, wow. And then I did it again, and then I knew it, and then the belief came. But I didn't believe in it at all at first. I just did it.
Yeah, you know, Debbie, that was like me as well. I didn't believe in manifesting when I won those free trips on the radio. But I was in desperation. I'm like, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And it happened. Yeah. So.
That's awesome. How is the video? I have a muted. Oh, she's on mute right now, so she's busy. So anyway, manifesting, you guys, is something that you should try because it's really awesome. And if you need a book, our book, Many Ways of Manifesting, is on Amazon, along with a few more books that we've written. And we've got to do that extra book to the Little Book of Big Evil.
Oh, yes. Yeah, part 2.
Janine said she can't get back in. That she got a call on her phone, so it kicked her out. Okay. So, do we know what is Psychic Leo Fire? Are you there? Can you hear us? Okay. Her mic is muted.
Oh yeah, she I think she muted herself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not really sure what's going on, but of course, isn't it something? Oh, she's gone now. Something that we always happens is our technical glitches. We actually were talking before the show that we'd like to talk about spirit guides and, how do you know that you have spirit guides and all of that? Hello.
Hi, I'm sorry. I had to take care of something.
Okay, that's fine.
I just heard about the spirit guide topic. So I do have on my podcast, I do have some things about my personal spirit guides and some things I experienced with them and messages with them, and then how to get into contact with your own spirit guides as well. I have that on my podcast too. Just wanted to put that out there.
When have you been psychic? Do you think most of your life? Do you have experiences as a child? And when did you meet your spirit guides or know that they were there?
When I did intense psychic development, I did like in-person classes, extensive in-person classes. After I became when I did Reiki 1, I actually did go to massage school and then met a Reiki healer from there. I went off into my own path almost, to where I was like seeking out more spiritual teachers, more psychic teachers. But it's when I really kind of honed in on the psychic development from someone who had been doing it for about 20 or more years that I honed in on specifics and did meditation and focused on gathering information from there. And that's when I was able to kind of grasp the information that I needed and go from there onto my own path and, gathering information and continuing like on my own path from there. I consider myself a spiritualist, where we all have our own path. I'm not quite religious, but I do believe we're all interconnected, and we're here to learn from each other. So that's kind of my point of view on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know we're various stages of stuff. Like I always kind of knew things, but Janine had a very paranormal life. And Andy, when did you start knowing things or get into this?
I started, I believe it was shortly after, must have been around 2014, 2015, and was what they would call my awakening. I started having that curiosity, and it just went one thing to another. And then my last hope was Debbie.
Oh.
I found Debbie, and I was just gonna like give up because I got ripped off. I got, all of this stuff.
No.
It happens to people. But that's what, and got a reading from her. Everything was dead on. Like,
wow.
It was scary accurate. I mean, you get those
I
comments.
get that all the time.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And then I just kept on with that.
Well, and I think before the broadcast, we were talking about how everything is different. Mediums, psychics, they get it differently and in different ways and at different times. And so psychic Leo fire, what happened to me as always knowing all my life. And then I had a near-death experience. And that included blood loss, a lot of blood loss. And after that happened, then it all happened. It all came in. It was crazy. And I have a friend in the same situation where all of a sudden she could see the angels and talk to everybody. Wow. So, cool. But I know that you get these spiritual downloads is what I want to say throughout your life. Like something happened at a certain age, and my girlfriend said, well, like the Crohn's age. And I said, I don't like that at all. We need a new name.
Right.
But it was, and all of a sudden something else, came in. So it's amazing. And everybody should do psychic development, find out where your gift is, and just try it. And I always say, just go out on a limb, step out into the unknown and just go for it. But I'm kind of anxious to see, hi, Julie, is do you have when this all happened, when you are very, very educated in metaphysical subjects?
Yeah, I have my bachelor's. I earned it like in an online degree program, but I did a lot of different study with like certain, major religions, as well as like states of consciousness, and writing papers and about spirituality itself, and like even like Native American spirituality as well. Different parts to it. I already said altered state of consciousness. Did I? Like there's a study I kind of went into, like there's like hypnotism and meditation and like what those states of consciousness do, which is quite interesting if anyone, is studying that or gets into that. I was always involved in studying more about like what lies beyond like what we know, like what is we see, all these physical things, that what is beyond all this, so I was always like into that just like what do we know, and like how are we connected, and all that kind of stuff. So
well, what I want to know is, when you started studying all that, did you and start having paranormal stuff happen?
I would say that when I was younger, I had a lot of specific feelings of, I don't know if you know, like those shows that like you watch, like if you're curious, you watch things when you're younger. Like I remember these different shows about crop circles and aliens and like connecting to aliens, and like I would watch a lot of that stuff. And I remember just feeling like having this fear of like, what if they come find me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of the extent. Like I haven't gotten too deep into it, but I have just done a lot of meditation regarding past lives, like my past lives. So I have a lot of memories and things from like Egypt and symbolism that comes into play with what comes up with how I feel and how I deal with things today. Like I'm into a lot of beauty stuff. They were into a lot of like beauty stuff and dark eyeliner, and
that'd be like very Egyptian.
There's just a lot of stuff from that time. There's a lot of stuff from that time that kind of translates, and I can kind of pull back memories when I meditate specifically on that. But as far as where we were going with conversation, I forgot.
It was paranormal activity.
Paranormal. Okay, got it. Paranormal activity. I've been able to, in certain readings, actually trace back certain things from. Let me give an example. This one reading where I was reading, it was near the Niagara Falls area in Canada. I don't know if you guys know where that's at. I was reading for somebody. This was just like online. So I was doing like a reading through text, like just like a messaging reading. And I got specifically that there was energy from people that had passed on that were still living in a home because they felt haunted. I don't know if you guys consider that paranormal, but like...
Yeah, that's very paranormal.
Yes. So I was reading for this person that had entities in their home, and these people from this area, like I kept getting something about KKK, like these entities were stuck in this home because they felt guilty about what the crimes that they had committed. And they were stuck in this home and they wouldn't leave the home. And it had to deal with, it was such a, like a crazy little triangle. It was like the guy that had passed on that was still in the home, like wouldn't leave the home because it was like trapped in this shame and guilt cycle. And it had to deal with like that group, the KKK. And it was like, when I looked up facts around it, like, okay, is this actually like what I'm getting? It did connect to that area. And I was like, this is really, really crazy. But It was it kind of lined up. Like there was a fact checking component that I checked into, and I'm like, this is accurate. There's a fact here that kind of connects with this area. So sometimes it's like you get those feelings, and then you just kind of connect, and you try to find the facts that kind of line up with it, and you're like, okay, that makes sense, you know. So I've had some different interesting readings where, like, I don't believe it, but that's like what's coming through. You know, I don't know if you've had that.
Where are the messages coming from? Do you feel like you are getting them from a spirit guide, or how do you work?
It's interesting. I can work either or. Like if I actually tune into my spirit guides to get information from them, sometimes I need guidance with how to channel certain information, so I'll have to go through the spirit guide. But sometimes in dealing with the raw emotion of what's coming to me, sometimes I have to like distance myself a little bit from it, come back to it, and then find out kind of what needs resolution. Sometimes I have to like mentally distance myself, come back to it. Sometimes it's certain things are too intense. So it's like half and half. Sometimes I just kind of just read the raw emotion of it, or sometimes I'll have to go through a guide, and it's kind of instinctual to where I know like who's there.
So
like I have different guides that have different like energies with them. Like I have like a wizard guide that's very like transformative and very like healing. And then I have an Egyptian guide from like a past life that's come in with me. That looks like Anubis, that the one with the dog head. So it's different.
So you're taking on emotion. So are you empathic? Is that what is also
I'm empathic,
part of it?
but I've been learning how to distance myself when necessary, or meditate on certain things to overcome it. Like I've been dealing with my emotions more solidly. 2019 was a very crazy year for me. So I think that even healers, psychics, we all grow and we learn in our own ways. But I've been more grounded, more solidly dealing with certain things that had happened within this year. 2018 though was a great year for me. So I'm kind of dipping down a little bit, but still dealing with my emotions and grounding with the events that have happened. So in my personal life, yeah.
And Andy's going like this a lot because you're also an empath, right, Andy?
Yeah, big time. And it's difficult because I don't know how you feel about it. For me, I will tune into people, but it's not always taking on their energy, or some people say you are. But I simply read their energy, and then it's like interpreting feelings into words, or pictures into words, and and all of that. But it is hard to set that boundary to where you're not reacting as much. Or you know what I mean?
I think that's something like everyone has to learn, like everybody. And yeah, we all deal with our own energies. We're all born in with our certain charts as well. So I think it's just something that like everyone learns at some point.
I think I'm the lucky one. I really do.
Are you?
Yeah. I just, and my clients, they're like, she doesn't sugarcoat anything. And I said,
well, that's good. Like I like people like that. That's awesome.
I'm not taking on any of that emotion. You're going to do this. Yeah, that's me. It's like, and I feel bad sometimes. I go, I feel kind of bad, but that's just my style. And I'm so glad because out in the field, out in the cemeteries and stuff, we have had some empaths, get it in the energy of these people that are desperate or angry or confused and all of this.
Right.
And it's heartbreaking. It's really, frightening for the person to not have that shield. And there's so many empaths that are saying, I've tried everything, and it's hard for them to even work, because if they have desks next to somebody else, and taking on all this stuff. So yeah, I don't take on anything, and I'm so glad. I don't know
what
why.
We all need and want.
I don't know why. It's just that way, and I'm glad.
Good.
I'm glad. But and I think that's what helps me. And do you do missing people, or do you do homicides or anything?
I had done that way back. I haven't really been involved in a lot of that work. I knew someone who did it, the one that I took psychic development classes from. And we actually did, like, as a group assignment, we focused on a picture, and we got whatever images would come to mind or locations, and we actually did work with that, but I didn't, take it on further. I think for me, it's a little bit more difficult to do that work because I like transformative work where I like to see the person successful or succeeding. Like, for me, it's a little bit darker to go into that work, because I do feel, probably as maybe Andy does, I do feel for people that have lost things or have just an unresolution. I would say that I'm able to ground better with my emotions, but I think that kind of work isn't necessarily something that I feel I'm, growing in. So I kind of, I go to the lighter aspects of healing work. I like healing work.
Oh, right. And you're a Reiki master as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really, really, really cool. We were talking earlier again that we really need to expand all this kind of healing modalities that we have. We need people to try it out. And I'm always doing it, always, because I go, that is something I absolutely believe in the healing. And so I'm just like, I just know, okay, I'm gonna walk into a hospital and everybody's gonna get healed. I mean, I feel like I'm trying it when I go in, and we all should go after that. It's such a great thing. And of course, Reiki now is so accepted, and really here in San Diego, they just started working. Of course, they've been in hospice and all that, but now they're working in the hospitals.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Along with people that are going into surgery or coming out of surgery and things like that. So, and to take away anxiety, it would be a really big thing. And then to start the real healing processes of the body, while they're getting that care is so special. I think it's just a wonderful thing. So you have any particular experiences as a healer that kind of wowed you or anything?
Well, I started in massage therapy. So for me, like my parents were actually physical therapists, so they worked with specifically the body. And so I kind of grew up like seeing them in clinics and being, taken with them to the hospitals. And like my life kind of started with like seeing like sick people around me or the elderly. It was really weird. Like, I don't know. It's not funny, but like, it's kind of like the opposite. You think about, you're all vibrant and you're growing up and like you're going through childhood, but then it's like, you think of like people around you deteriorating through old age, but it was kind of like the opposite. Like I met a lot of people that my mom and dad treated, as far as like the, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think that I get up and attend. What was the question again?
Oh, we were talking about if you had any healing experiences.
Healing experience. Okay. Healing experience. I had a really empowering one. My mom was actually in the hospital, and I remember being with her in the hospital, and she had like no signs of life to her. Like she was, you didn't see her eyes open. She was like in bed. And I remember like just putting my hands like on different areas of her body, trying to like feel like, you know how you have like an electromagnetic fields around your body. I was trying to feel like I had my hand on her like leg or like her arm. Like I was trying to feel like where is she? Like what happened? Like is she still here? Like it's like my own little like experiment. Like is she gonna come back or does she feel me? And it was like there was moments. I think it was like an hour had passed or something. I still had like my hands on her. I was like, oh my gosh, like is she gonna do something? But I could see little twitches, I think in her arm or like in her face. Like there was twitches.
Yeah. Right.
And I was like, I think that was the most kind of profound for me, because there was like signs, very small signs of life where I just wanted to know if like she was there. And it was like a nonverbal signal, but it was like, you know, it was like she was at peace or she was letting me know that she was there.
I think that was brilliant because I've never heard of anybody doing that. And you just, a light bulb went on for me.
Yeah, this was before like massage school or like anything. This was just me. And it's like, it was almost like internally fighting with myself because it's like, I knew this person that was my mom forever. And then like, I'm trying to like communicate to her, but I can't talk to her. You know what I mean? But that was, for me, I think the most profound, even, you know, even if there wasn't like a full-on verbal conversation, there was, you know, something there. So
I think it's wonderful to, because I feel the energy and I do a lot of things in psychic development to, you know, we're guessing the lottery tickets and all the stuff by energy. And this is brilliant to go and see where the energy is in the body. Because when my dad was, you know, passing, it was like, anybody see an angel? Anybody see an angel? Anybody see Uncle Joe? Uncle Louie in the room? I mean, we were just like, we're looking for a complete opposite. Not what was happening with his body, but seeing if there was somebody coming to get him, you know, or if he was calling for anyone. And
everyone has different beliefs about crossing over and what it looks like and what we feel. It's just, it's so individual.
Yeah,
just in honesty, it is.
Yeah, and it's interesting with the near death. It's, I can speak of that, is the peace, the peace, because I actually have had a couple of near deaths, and one was drowning, and I was 4 years old, and I was looking up through the water, and there was no tunnel, but I could see the sun. And I struggled I was burnt. I was in an explosion. And so I was thrown out into the water. And so I went under. My mother found us eventually because we had 2 little ones and brought us up and to breathe. But I remember seeing the beach and the little ant people and all that. And finally I surrendered and I went down under, and then I could see the sun and complete peace and absolutely zero fear. None.
Wow.
I was going to die. I knew I was going to die, and it was peaceful. I was just letting it happen. And that is when my mother grabbed me, and all of a sudden I got whooshed up to the surface and got my breath of air. And then some people came out, but I have a blackout after that. I don't remember anything. I woke up probably in shock. But but it just was complete peace. It was like, okay, I'm going to go to heaven. I knew about heaven and everything at 4, but So of course we should do a book on what people think, you know, of what happened. I always remember the guy who thinks that he went to hell, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what was that all about? You know. But, you know, we wanted to be peaceful and all of that. But I just think it's wonderful. I love meeting Reiki healers because we just need to do that. We need to give people healing in all different ways. Not a soul on this earth deserves to hurt. You know, we all need to heal. I'm looking at the time a little bit, and we
Sure.
do want to do a couple of readings. So any of the viewers, we're on a different platform now, you guys, so I can't really see, you know, a lot of your streaming comments or anything like that. So if you are interested in not a health reading, because we like to do those in person, but if you're interested in those little general type of things, let us know. Hi, Megan. Hi, everyone. I would love a reading if any of you feel drawn to me. Well, we're going to be drawn to you. How's that?
Literally drawn.
Yeah, drawn to you.
Drawing cards.
We're just going to do a little kind of pick up what we get and a little general. And I'm going to connect, and I'm going to use tarot cards tonight. So, Andy, are you going to do any cards? Okay. Megan, just give us a minute and
let me pick up one of my card decks. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Megan, I'm going to actually do a 3-month reading for you. Okay. So I'll be telling you what's going to be happening in like every 2 weeks. So, Megan. Okay. I am going to flip the cards over for you, Megan. There's always 4 cards that represent the person, energy crossing, a little bit about the future and the past. So it's really interesting. Okay. So Megan, I do feel like a little bit here that you are a little bit worried and not trusting what's going to happen in the future. I do get that you're thinking that maybe about a trip or something. This is just on your mind or energy crossing over. I do feel like you're going to have some struggle, some confusion past 3 months. And I do have that you're waiting for some kind of results. But I really feel like really soon here that you might be, I love the happy card and all of that, but you may even get some kind of career offer that comes in. I have big success for you for the end of this month, mid to end of this month. Good success card. I love it. When we get into 2020, that's when you better sit on your money. You better hold on to it. So I feel like be stingy with it. Don't spend it, or maybe you won't have the money to spend. Hold on to that money. I do get a very strong personality that comes in. It may be you, but I get a woman that is a strong personality and very intelligent and a fighter. And this person's hugely compassionate, but has a justice theme in this lifetime. So I feel like this very strong, wonderful woman comes in, or maybe it is you. When we get to February, I feel like we are challenged here. So it's hard to go forward. So you will manifest that everything goes smoothly and easily. That's an affirmation. And just get through that time period because you need to go forward. Okay. A big change comes for you. Mid to end of February, like a change in lifestyle. We have a real good, positive, renewed energy. Really, really good for you. So that's actually what I have. Andy, did you pick up anything?
I did. Okay, Megan, I just picked an angel card for you. So it says, look for a sign. So
Yeah.
Angels love to talk to us through symbolism, numbers, repeating numbers, a favorite number, a birthday, license plates, whatever. Just simple symbols. It could even be like white feathers or whatever. It catches your attention. You're not actually looking for this, but be aware. Just be aware. Be open to it. And don't confuse coincidence with synchronicity. So when we say synchronized, it was meant to happen. It was meant to come forward. It was meant to be in your reality or your perception for you to be aware of it. So that's what I have for you. Look for a sign. That means you're on the right path. Angels are always giving you positive messages. So we may not always recognize it, but now that you're aware, look for those symbols. And that's what I have
Awesome.
for you.
Awesome. Psychic Leo fire.
I'm getting something with love with Megan. Something didn't quite happen the way that you thought, Megan. I'm getting the Page of Cups with that, but I'm getting like in May of next year, like something's going to come together. There's going to be a union. There's going to be something with love that's going to like gel together pretty well. I'm getting just something in love with that. So that's
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, a lot to think about there, Megan. And I love the signs thing too, because everybody knows my story of seeing the signs, actual signs, and just getting me out of, taking me in a different direction. It was crazy. Hi, Brett. You're just here for the coffee. Could you bring me a cup over, Brett? And Brett, I want to thank you. Matter of fact, for the coffee, we donated on Giving Tuesday to what is it? Coffee for Kids Honduras, which is a wonderful children's charity. And so, Brett, thank you so much. And so, yeah, it was coffee. That was a good one. All right. Did anybody want to look at anything? That's awesome. Hi, Grizel. Anything for me regarding work or a new job?
Okay.
All right.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm trying to figure out which deck I should use for you, Grizel. I want to do something kind of different for you.
I got something good.
Do you have anything with guns and ammo?
Let's see. Okay.
Well, I get the King of Pentacles for you, Grizel. Very positive card in terms of career, finding that job. I don't get specifically what it is, but very successful nonetheless. I feel like within like 2 months, you're going to find out what it is and get it. Like a kind of a quick, it's not understood right now kind of what it is, but then it's going to be quick and you're going to get it. So that's what I get for that.
Awesome.
And I want to just add to that.
Okay.
I pulled an Ascended Master card for you, and it's Ganesh. So I'm not going to read the meaning, but that's the Ascended Master. You could reach out to that Ascended Master if you choose to. But I get a yes. I get a yes for it. It's going to be great. So that's what I have for you.
Grizel, did you just recently start something, though? I just kind of feel like something's in the works already. I do have you having ambition, and which is really good because I love this card for the people that are in business. So reaching your goals and going for it. So do that.
Oh, cool.
I think that you have a lot of responsibility on you right now, almost too much. So be very kind to yourself, okay? I think, too, that I don't know if you're thinking about another little trip, but I kind of see that for you. I do feel like you work really well with people, so I like that a lot. For the new year, I want you to manifest because I do have a little heartache somewhere coming in. But I tell you, you are really good at something. And I see you celebrating that great talent that you have. So this is really, really good. And I want you to face your fears. And you do have in 3 months a time that we have that great understanding that comes, a little shakeup to where we really look at ourselves and we look at our work and we kind of analyze it, and it helps us set new goals. This is super positive. It doesn't happen all the time, and I see that happening in around the end of February. So, so positive because we need to know where we're going. Because what do I say, you guys? Physically, mentally, metaphysically, you go after your goal. So you're never stuck and you're moving forward. So super, super good. You will get it. Manifest the heck for what you want, exactly what you want. So you're super happy. Ah, yes, she says. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, great. We love Griselle, one of our regular
Very cool.
viewers. We almost met. We almost met in her last trip.
Aw.
We weren't quite close enough. But you guys, one of our viewers flew out from the UK, and they drove down here, her and a friend, from San Francisco, and spent an evening with me, and it was just
nice.
It was absolutely wonderful. It was great.
Oh.
Really a lot of fun and a lot of laughing. So yeah, viewers, if you want to come out, I'll meet up with you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
Aw.
And it was fun because, they were interested in this thing called, Thanksgiving, and what kind of food do you make for that?
Oh, wow.
Just little things like that. It was really funny. So
Cool.
I thought, I know you guys know what Thanksgiving is over here. But yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. So I love meeting our viewers. It's really great. And we got a real nice thank you from Carlos.
Yeah.
Did you see that? We get fan mail. So we surprised Carlos with a card, Thanksgiving card that Janine and Andy and Andy flew out here, and I had gotten a card so we could all write our sentiments in and send to him. So that was really neat. So a little bit more plugs for you there, your Instagram.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
You guys, I want you to go look at the podcast because I'm certainly going to do it.
There's a lot of different stuff in that thing. Oh my God. I talk about stories and just so much. It just goes so deep. Just if you want good, deep, real chat, I have so much stuff on there. Just manifestation, my life, more about my beginnings and what I've gone through. Being saved by angels. I was in a car crash. There's a lot of stuff I didn't cover on here, but there's just so much on there.
That means you have to be back on our show.
Yeah.
there's so much to talk about, but
that's really great because you want a podcast where you can engage and go into all these subjects.
Yes.
But what a heart you have to open it up and for it to be free. There's so many people that do subscriptions.
I want people to just to get to know me. If they really want a reading from me, I just, I'm here, this is, every reader's not for everybody. Sometimes we can read each other's energies easier than other people. I just feel if someone wants to reach out to me, then I'm here. You know what I mean? I just like for people to get to know me, and I like to add value into people's lives. So that's
giving out having all that information is absolutely fantastic and interesting. Now, what's the easiest way for them to get a hold of you for a reading?
Honestly, my Instagram. I'm on there trying to post. It's probably been a little while since I posted within the month, but it hasn't been extraordinarily long amount of time. I've been working on different other projects, but Instagram for sure. So message me. There's a call button. There's a message button. Everything's kind of linked into there. So.
Awesome.
Okay.
And you are in the process of building a website. So we will be letting everybody know what that is.
Yes.
That'll be a lot of fun. My thing right now is podcast.
I know.
Oh my gosh, there's just so much on that thing.
Fun.
My stories. I didn't even talk about the thing with my mom on there. That just came to me, and I just was talking about it. I don't try to plan too much. I like real authentic conversation, and I don't like a lot of planning. I like to just have it flow,
Show.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
I like real authentic communication, and building off of that. So
Right. And that's wonderful. And we're excited for your path and the good work that you're doing and all of that. So are your blogs have like titles so we'll know maybe one's about ET or one's about angels
there's a lot right now on the anchor.fm. It's called Psychic Leo Fire. And there's different ones in there about like earlier on, like Meet Psychic Leo Fire is like the very first one that goes into my story, like who I am, what I identify as far as like an empath and a psychic and all that. And like the training that I've gone through and like what I've learned from like psychic teachers is like one of them. And like manifestation is one of them. And then like I have another one that's called like My 3 Wishes. And how like I was able to manifest certain things within what I wanted and like kind of how I got there. And I have things about vision boards. I have different, those are just like some examples. And I don't know how many episodes I have, to be honest, but like I've just been recording and uploading content just as I feel I can. And I think the latest ones are like the spirit guide ones. So that's the latest ones.
Yeah.
I can't wait to listen. And I sure hope that you'll be back on our show. I know that we didn't even get to touch all the education that you've gone through and all the things that you know how to do. It's absolutely phenomenal.
I'm used to just doing free flowing. I'm used to just doing readings, either texting or like when I was doing on Arena, the readings, I was like on video, but then I would just like do readings through like text, like, and it was just a lot of stuff kind of lined up, but I'm used to doing more text kind of stuff. But
I started out doing
I've done
that.
phone as well. Like I've done different types of mediums and stuff, but
well, that's good because you're open to, get to anybody in that way. And I know that we get requests for Skype or, these types of things. I do an audio.
Yeah.
And this is where I tell people to go out on a limb. And I've said this before earlier this year, I don't know anything. I love the cold readings. We don't know anything about anybody.
Yes.
And I put the cards down, and this is one of those things where I didn't sugarcoat. I said, your grandfather's going to die. You're going to be fine. You're going to inherit money and buy a house. You got a good life to go, And the next day she says, grandpa died last night. And I think my favorite are just doing the audios and stuff. But, we were thinking, I was thinking about psychic development. And I remember I went into it kicking and screaming. When I went to the class and they were going to do psychometry, I'm like, no.
Oh, I did that too. Yeah.
That was, I did not want to do it. And then after I went first so they'd forget about me, I did. Honestly, by the time they're done with this whole group, they won't know what I said.
Oh, gosh.
But what happened was phenomenal. I was just in the air putting the initials of the people and it all was right. And I was like, okay. Yeah, but it was, it's difficult to step out there. We want our viewers, if you're going to explore the metaphysics, then go ahead and do it. Go out on a limb. And sometimes I have my students have a pad of paper. If they feel like they don't want to yell a name out, just go ahead and write it down. And they get to put it up and say, got it. But it's how we grow, and we need to experience to find out where are we good at. Because I'm not going to use a pendulum ever again. I've tried and I got a new one, and I tried, I got a new one. I go, yeah.
Right.
So we have find our own way, and you certainly are on this great and grand path of getting all the information and finding out your gifts and helping people. And that's absolutely wonderful. And what a great life you're going to have ahead of you. And it'll be great to find out what else you go, because you've got more things to do. I know that. So, but it's time for us to say goodbye. Because it's a little late out in the east, and we want to let you go. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Andy, we love you.
Love you guys.
Okay, we'll see you guys.
Thank you. Bye, Andy.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, you guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.